I must, and I acknowledge the support of the member for Grainler for the legislation that is now before the House and the third reading. But much of his contribution there related to a bill that is being debated in the Senate in the coming hours, coming days, and it would be remiss of me not to, as a Tasmanian, and I'll be terribly disappointed, Deputy Speaker, if those Tasmanian senators from all sides don't contemplate that the changes that are before the Senate in respect of the bill that the member opposite referred to, in 2012 the changes, in 2009 the changes, the damage that they did to the island state in the island nation, Deputy Speaker, deserve the changes that have been moved by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Infrastructure to be considered in all seriousness, because it is about, Deputy Speaker, growing again the coastal shipping fleet around Australia. It is about making sure that there are opportunities for employment, many of whom will no doubt be members of the MUA. And I would point to what was announced only a couple of weeks ago, the plans and the opportunities that can exist to see the sector once more grow. Since 2012, deadweight tonnage of the coastal fleet around Australia has fallen by 63%. It is dying on the vine as we sit here. As a government, we don't have a choice, and as a Tasmanian, I don't have any choice. And I have never said, and I say to the member opposite, I have never said in this place that the changes that were made by the previous government were anything other than well-intentioned. Some of my colleagues on this side have been less magnanimous in that regard. I have never said that they weren't well-intentioned, but the fact of the matter is that they have failed. They have not delivered the outcomes that were promised. So the opportunity is there to once again look at growing the coastal shipping fleet through the changes that have been proposed, and I feel sure that it will provide the opportunity for local businesses to continue then with confidence to invest in the sector. It will bring competition. It will bring, as has been highlighted by DP World, a reduction in the cost of moving a container from the Port of Burnie in northwest Tasmania to Shanghai by more than half. The figures quoted were $2,800, I think, currently thereabouts, by virtue of the requirement to go through the Port of Melbourne, to something between $1,300 and $1,400 a container. I cannot stand in this place. I cannot stand in this place. And the jobs that will come through that investment, $30 million in the Port of Burnie. I mean, it will mean new jobs. It will mean more jobs, most likely for members of the MUA. And I would ask those Tasmanian Labor senators, and particularly Senator Whish-Wilson, because I have a lot of respect for Senator Whish-Wilson. I think somewhere deep down inside him there is a pragmatic bone there that exists, and I know it is fighting to come out, and I know that he is often driven into the ground by some of his colleagues. But I implore Senator Whish-Wilson to look at this and the opportunity that this provides for our state, not just for jobs offshore on vessels, but jobs onshore in the expanded port facilities that we will see. And secondly, to contemplate other unionised workplaces onshore in my state, but also around the country, that are being jeopardised by opposing these changes to the legislation that is before the Senate in due course. Whether it be Nearstar and the member for Denison's electorate, whether it be Norski Skoog in my electorate at Boyer in southern Tasmania, whether it be Bell Bay Aluminium, and I won't repeat, but everybody in this place knows very well the very forthright contributions that were made by Ray Mustogle, the CEO of Bell Bay Aluminium, and the impact that the changes, albeit they were well-intentioned, in 2012 had on that business. And so I implore those Tasmanian senators, this is the opportunity to see once again the coastal shipping fleet have a chance to see in renewed investment. We're already seeing the possibilities that can occur with the commitments that have been made recently in recent weeks by DP World. It is not just about those jobs that they are fighting for, and I understand why they're fighting for. It is about what it could cost, whether it's 5 jobs for every job that's being presumably that is being suggested will be lost. You may well be putting at risk 5 jobs or 10 jobs in similar unionised workplaces in other parts of the country, and that, for me, Deputy Speaker, is unacceptable. And I thank the Deputy Prime Minister particularly for the opportunity just to make a contribution in response to the Minister, to the Shadow Minister, but also welcome the fact that he is indeed supporting the legislation before the House.
I thank the member for line for his contribution.